When I often talk with people about culture, what's the culture like in your company? They might say, oh, the culture's fantastic. You know, we get free lunch, we've got a games room, we get to work from home. And yet culture is more than just perks and it's more than compensation. When I ask founders what's the culture like in their company, they talk about the reviews that they do and the training that they have and the meetings that they do. They also, a lot of the time, talk about how culture is hard work. It's always something to manage, always something to keep on top of. And when we dig a little deeper into that, what we find is the relationship to culture lives in the doing of culture, doing the process, doing the reviews, doing the meetings, doing the 360s. And yet when I ask them, well, what's your experience of life like? What's your experience of life like in a meeting, in a design sprint, in a review? What's your experience of life like when the boss is in town or on a Sunday night before you've got to go back to work? People often give you a very different response. And that other side of culture is the art of culture. It's in the feeling. It's in our experience of life. And that's how we live life. It's not just in what we do, it's also how we feel about it. So when we talk about culture, we talk about the art and science of culture and what it means to create cultures that perform well, that do all the doing really, really well, and also create a sense of purpose and fulfillment and joy. You see, a lot of the time, culture is something that's invisible. It's like the air. You can't really sort of see it, but you know it's there. And you know that it has an impact. It's like love. It's like language, it's like feelings, it's something that we know still runs what our experience of life is like. But we don't always know what to do with it. A lot of the time that's because we haven't learned. We haven't learned consciously. You know, we've learned by default, we've learned by observing others, or we've read some books, or we've just taken a good guess at it. And yet, what would it look like to actually create culture consciously? To create a culture of purpose and performance by design. To create the experience of where life and work can not only be productive and produce the results and fulfill on the vision that you have, it can also be fun, it can also be enjoyable, and it can also be easy. This is something that we're really up to helping founders discover, because there's nothing wrong with the process and the science and the doing of culture, but it's just limited. There's another side to it, which is the art as well, and when you put those two things together, incredible things happen.